I am Immaculate Fogwe. Every 1st of December, Cameroon joins the world to commemorate World AIDS Day. People around the world unite to show support for people living with HIV and equally those who have died of AIDS. And due to that, this year's theme is Acting Together to End Inequalities or Equalities. Let's go on this short break. I will be right back. Welcome back. On the line in Boya is Eshu Roland, a public health expert. He is the regional focal point for the fight against HIV and AIDS at the regional delegation of public health in the southwest region of Cameroon. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation. It is a pleasure having you for the first time on the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Today we are celebrating the 35th edition of World AIDS Day in Cameroon. So tell us, what is HIV and AIDS all about?
Yeah, in simpler terms, most often people always confuse when you talk about HIV and AIDS. This is a combined word. What we have to understand is that the lot of HIV is the virus, and AIDS is an advanced stage of the virus. That's why when we're out, we are doing screening. We are screening for HIV/AIDS. We are screening people to know if actually they are positive. They have the virus in their bloodstream. Then when you talk of AIDS, it's an advanced stage of the disease where when you reach that stage, you realize that your immune system is destroyed, and you're kind of open to opportunistic diseases. When they come, it's very difficult for them to be treated. It's like someone that have AIDS and someone which is not positive. If you realize that if you have fever, the person who do not have AIDS can easily recover, while the person that an AIDS patient will take you time to recover because your immune system have been damaged.
So, is there a possibility of stopping HIV from becoming AIDS?
Hello?
Is there a possibility of stopping HIV from becoming AIDS?
What you have to understand that once you are positive, you are positive. There's no treatment. There's not. You cannot be cured. Let me not talk about treatment. There's treatment, but you cannot be cured.
Okay.
You have patients that when they are on treatment, when they adhere to treatment, you realize that normally you will suppress their viral load and you can make it indeterminate. But you have that. You cannot have that possibility. The probability of them transmitting it to another person is very slim. But it doesn't mean that you have been cured of AIDS.
And now, who is at risk of having HIV?
Anybody. Anybody can catch it, and anybody can prevent it.
Okay. Then now, how is it transmitted?
Yeah, we have various modes of transmission of HIV/AIDS. I will tell you that 90% is through the sexual route. You know, with the sexual route now that we have anal sex and oral sex, you realize that if you look at the concentration of bacteria in the anus, it's more than that of the vagina. So that's why you see the sexual routes amount to 90% of cases of those who contract HIV/AIDS. Then we also have mother-to-child transmission. Mother-to-child transmission, maybe during childbirth or maybe during breastfeeding, because as you know, the virus is in secretions, be it vaginal secretions, be it breast milk, or be it saliva. Also, we have you can also contract it from unsterilized needles, like in the hospital. That's why people are not supposed to share needles. But like drug users, at times they share needles. Through this means they too can contract HIV/AIDS. Even you ladies, when you go to the salon, at times when they use needles maybe to sew your grave and it's not being treated and used immediately for another person, it can also expose you. And also we have blood transfusion. At times people are so in a haze that when they want to do blood transfusion, they don't take time, or maybe due to neglect, the blood which you have to transfuse to another person was not properly checked. So that means one can contract HIV/AIDS.
If you're just joining us on the program, then know you're watching for those on TV and listening to the program You're in the Health aired on Equinoxe Radio Multimedia. To participate in the program and ask your questions concerning HIV and AIDS, you can call the following numbers: 655-511111. I repeat, 655-511111, or you can equally call 242-642980. Those are the numbers which you can call and be able to participate in today's edition of the program. Back to you, Mr. Esho. What are the early symptoms of HIV?
What I would say, it all depends on one's immune system. You cannot really say that there's actually even running stomach, who might be having rashes. People who feel that everyone will have rashes continuously, or maybe you have running stomach, you're HIV/AIDS positive. Until you do your test, and you're confirmed positive. There might be other diseases like maybe malaria, maybe typhoid that can make you to have other symptoms. So the symptoms also will depend on the individual, the immune system of the individual. It doesn't mean that when you see someone having rashes or having scabies, it means that the person is positive until that person has been screened and confirmed positive.
You mentioned the fact that people can get infected using unsterilized needles, unprotected sex. What about kissing? Can kissing equally lead to infection?
Kissing, that will depend is to an extent. It depends, when you talk about kissing, unless the situation where people will be kissing, maybe they have, let me don't use this word, brutally kissing. Okay. That maybe you have wounds, because normally when you have wounds on your mouth, it kind of expose you to contract HIV. It's depending on the status of the partner that are involved in it. But I don't think just normally kissing like this can make you contract HIV/AIDS. I don't think so. You mentioned about breastfeeding too. How can a child get infected through breastfeeding, though we know it's just breast milk that comes out? It is breast milk, as I said earlier. It's breast milk. I tell you that the virus lives in secretions. Okay. We have vaginal secretions. We have the breast milk too. Okay. So the virus is in the breast milk. That's why we all advise women, for them, when you are pregnant, it's always good for them to do their test, so that we know that if you are positive or negative. If you are positive, they see how they can follow you up, so that your child should not be positive. I see. So now, in case you come in contact with someone who was infected with HIV, let's say we have a call on the line, or we come back to that question. Hello? Yeah, hello. We have a call on the line. Hello? We lost that caller. So back to you, Mr. Esho. In case someone gets in contact with someone who is infected with HIV and AIDS, what's the first thing to do? When you get in contact, the first thing to do is for you to make sure you do your test. And it doesn't suffice that. Mm-hmm. If you do your test, you are not positive, make sure that you do it after 3 months again to confirm. And normally they are what we call prophylactic treatment that can be given to you to prevent the situation. You mentioned the fact that we have a caller. Hello? We just lost that caller. You mentioned earlier that it's very essential for people to continuously do their test. How long should I just go to the hospital, let's say after 1 week, after 3 days, or is there a specific period to do this test? The prescribed period is 3 months. You can do it after every 3 months. Okay. Now, let's now talk about treatment. Can HIV be treated? Okay. No, HIV cannot be treated. That's what, as I said earlier, HIV cannot be treated. Once you are positive, you're positive. You're positive for life. That's it. The issue is that when you adhere to treatment, your viral loads can be suppressed. Being suppressed doesn't mean that you've been cured. That's why you see there are those who are positive at times when they go to the hospital to do their test, you realize that they are not positive. No, they are not negative. They are indeterminate. Being indeterminate doesn't mean that the disease is not in your bloodstream. It's there, but it's just that their viral loads have been suppressed up to another. You cannot really identify it, and it gives you that probability, slim probability for you to transmit the disease. That's why we always advise those who are on treatment to make sure that they follow their treatment properly.
But now there are some tradi practitioners who have said they have found a cure for HIV and AIDS. Don't you think there is a need for these people to work in collaboration with doctors and see how they can look for better solutions to this problem?
Yeah, that's the issue we have at the level of our health system. But the ministries for putting things in place to see how they can cope this, because you cannot just come out. The patient that has been on treatment for maybe 5-6 years, that's adhering to treatment, you come one day and tell the patient, maybe the patient went to the hospital and did a test which is indeterminate and come back, say that, no, I've been treated, I took traditional medicine, I'm well. We need to bring them to the level, give them the AIDS patient, let them treat them, we'll see. Those are the things that they need to do. Not just telling people that you've treated an HIV patient, that the person went and did the test, it was not positive. When the person went and did the test, it was indeterminate. Then you start saying that, no, you've cured the person of HIV/AIDS. HIV doesn't have a cure for now.
Okay. So now you are the regional focal point for the fight against HIV and AIDS in the Southwest region. So now tell us, is the rates increasing or decreasing?
It's actually decreasing, and it's decreasing due to, because, you know, with the prevalence rate that prevalent rate of HIV that we have, which is 3.2 in the region, according to the CAMFIA 2018 studies, it shows a lot of improvement due to the efforts by the government through the Ministry of Public Health and the regional technical group for the fight against HIV/AIDS, with other stakeholders who are involved in the fight against HIV/AIDS. A lot has been done in the field so far.
Personally, what do you think accounts for this decrease?
The decrease will have to do with the efforts and also with the change of attitudes. Behavior change is something which is continuous. Most of the population of the region have kind of accepting it and know that, no, actually HIV is real, because when you go to each family, you have at least one or two persons who is positive. So that's a kind of structured people way of thinking before people were saying that, no, it doesn't exist. Because if you look at the prevalence rate, we are 3.2, but the Northwest is about 5.6. You see that we are better off than other regions.
Mm-hmm. And now, for people who live with HIV, are there some lifestyles they need to have?
Yeah, there's a lifestyle. You just like normally you are just like a patient, because we always call them HIV patient. When you're a patient, you have to know that there's a certain lifestyle that you're not supposed to live. You cannot, you keep late night, you drink alcohol, right? They have nothing, you should not drink alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But when you drink alcohol, up to an extent that your immune system cannot even contain it, it becomes a problem. Like those who go out again, having sex without baby protection, they can be reinfected. That's why we always advise them, because you look at the level of the region south, we have about 155 psychosocial assistants in 36 treatment centers that we have at the level of the region, who are there to counsel them, give them therapeutic education, counsel them on their nutrition, what they're supposed to eat, what they're not supposed to eat, at what particular time, the kind of lifestyles for them to live is very important.
Now, today we are commemorating World AIDS Day. What are some of the activities that are ongoing there in the Southwest region? Yeah,
okay. You have to understand that World AIDS Day is not like before. The dynamics have changed. Now we have what the minister termed the Cameroonian month against HIV/AIDS, which begins from the 1st of November to the 1st of December, where we had preparatory meetings with stakeholders at the level of the region and NGOs working in the field. We kind of have a schedule, a dashboard for the region, that we have activity plans that we receive from them. Then we are involved in the technical and aspect, and we also give them materials that they have to use in the field, which was distributed. They have been doing sensitization in the field at the level of the community and the school, and also doing HIV screening. Also going to the media to also carry out some advocacy at that level.
You are a public health expert. Are there any major barriers fighting the effective eradication of HIV and AIDS in Cameroon?
Come again, madam.
As a public health expert, are there some major barriers that is affecting affecting the eradication of HIV and AIDS in Cameroon?
Yeah, we have some. It's not only in Cameroon as a whole, the world at large. Mm-hmm. That's why when you look at the team, we talk about acting together to end inequalities. There's a lot of inequalities when it comes to access to treatment. We have discrimination at the level of the family of the patient, we have stigmatization at the level of the family and the community, and we also have self-stigma from some of the patients who don't want to accept their status.
And now, what type of lifestyle should they have? Like, should they accept the status? But, like, it's really difficult to accept. How do they come to this point of accepting?
They just need to accept. Once you're positive, just accept it, because normally there's a treatment protocol. I've seen people who have been for 30, 40 years that are taking their drugs and they're fine. It's not a death sentence. They just have to understand that the treatment is free. We have to be grateful that the treatment is free. So you just need to accept your status and follow your treatment. Counseling come from psychosocial assistance. They are going to be fine.
Okay, let's take a case of a couple. Imagine the husband is HIV positive and the wife is negative. Does it mean this couple will never have sexual intercourse anymore?
Why not? They can have sexual intercourse. That's why we have discordant couples. We have a lot of couples who maybe the husband is positive, the wife is negative, that they're giving birth to a negative baby.
But now, are there no risks involved?
Provided the person that is positive adhere to treatment and follow up the treatment protocols.
Okay. So that's where we are going to be ending today's edition of the program. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Eshu.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.
That was Dr. Eshu Roland, public health expert there in the Southwest region. And that's why we end today's edition of the program, You're on Your Health. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe, and I received technical assistance from Ephraim Yemeli. Have a lovely day in the company of more programs on Equinoxe Radio and, of course, television. So long.
Vous écoutez Radio Equinoxe, la chaîne du peuple. La chaîne du peuple.
Equinoxe Télévision.